Hello and welcome to the Songbook Sessions, edition 11. My name's Stuart Earl, I'm a singer-songwriter and I live in Stroud in Gloucestershire. Along with my very good friend, Rocket Dog, who's not very rocket-like at the moment. However, we have some music on the show tonight, of course, with the fabulous Buck and Evans. Myself and Lyndon will be playing a few songs later. But to start the show off, some good friends from all the way from the other side of Stroud, and winners of Beard of the Week, Sitting on Top of the World by Texas Tick Fever.
My sweet girl left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. She called me up from El Paso, said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. Show me a woman that a man can trust. And now she's gone, I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. Mississippi River, long, deep and wide. Well, the woman I'm loving is on the other side. Now she's gone, and I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. You don't like my teachings, don't you shake my tree. Well, stay out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come here running, holding out your hand. Right at me a woman, like you got your man. Now she's gone, I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world.
Sitting on top of the world, folks. We hope you are too.
Thanks guys, loving your work, and I'd like to reassure you that no furry mammals were hurt in any way in the making of those beards. So, on to other stuff. I would like to thank Pete Clack from Blues in Britain for doing a very nice review of Cowboy State of Mind, my latest album, and you'll find that review, there's a copy of that in Blues in Britain, or it's on my Facebook page. You'll be pleased to know. And trivia of the week, thanks to Tim Harris. As you'll be aware, I've got an album called Jesse James, and he let me know that Jesse James is, I'm going to read this, get it right, Jesse James's great grandfather, William James, 1754 to 1805, lived in King Stanley, which is just outside Stroud. And I used to live in Leonard Stanley, which was a few hundred yards down the road. So there's a thing. Okay, so let's move things on to our guest. And our guest is the fabulous new Queen of Rock, Sally Ann Evans. And Sally is the other half of Buck and Evans. And if you're wondering who Buck and Evans are, get this.
Mama told me you got to move your mind. My mama told me wherever you may be, just you remember why my mama told me. My mama told me you got to be so real. My mama told me don't take no deal. My mama told me, whatever you may do, just you remember why your mama told you. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls. No, you're not alone. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls. On the road, going home. My mama told me you got to dream so tall. My mama told me you don't take that tall. My mama told me you got to be so bold. You just gotta shout about it, yeah, 'cause that's what everybody's told. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls. No, you're not alone. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls, yeah. On the road, you're going home, yeah. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls. You know you're not alone. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls, yeah. On the road, you're going home, yeah. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls. 'Cause you know you're not alone, no, 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 no. Don't stop dreaming about waterfalls, yeah. On the road. On the road. Oh, you're going home.
Hello, Sally.
Hello.
Oh, you're in the dark. Oh, there you are.
Is that better?
Yeah, no, that's fine, darling. All I could see was lights. It's like Christmas.
Adjust.
That's good.
See if that works. I'm in the office, so I'm trying
Are
to
you?
make the office look as attractive as I possibly can.
Written much recently?
Not recently, no. I was probably going back a year ago, and I've got lots of unfinished things, which to be honest, it wouldn't take much to go back to those and you know, get them off the ground. So that's quite exciting because I feel good about those.
Right. So will you take those back to the band and work on them with them, or how does that work?
Some of them, yes. Some of them are probably more suited to probably taking them down that singer-songwriter, maybe soulful type sound with back vocals and things like that. Piano, some stripped back piano stuff as well, you know, voice and piano, and but some funky stuff as well. So some of it will definitely find its way to the band.
Yeah.
That's been something we've been talking about recently, about jamming again, you know, to get those new songs underway, because we're all missing it anyway, but it's long overdue for us. We haven't really spent time together jamming and thrashing out some new material. I know Chris has got some ideas, I've got some ideas, no doubt the others have, so yeah, that'll be quite cool. And we've got the luxury of a huge warehouse down in Cardiff, which is where Dominic works.
Yeah.
We can socially distance and some.
So tell me how Buck and Evans got together.
Oh gosh, right. Right, so back in 2010, so we developed some small events, worked with some people in the area, started working for shopping centres and putting family events on and things like that. I said, okay, well, let's set up a rock club to start with, and then we'll grow it from there. And we set up the Steelhouse Live, which was just a live events name at that time. And then so that was the January 2011 that actually kicked off. In the March of that year, we'd seen some information coming through in Classic Rock magazine about this trio, South Wales trio, and this guitarist, this amazing new guitarist called Chris Buck. And we were like, okay, if we've got to get anybody into this live music venue, at this moment in time, it's got to be this trio. They're just down the road, and they're starting to make waves with Classic Rock magazine. Right. So we contacted them, and we got in touch with their manager, Alan Niven, in Arizona. Alan Niven was Guns N' Roses manager, and came across Chris's YouTube guitar sessions, and obviously thought, okay, I've got to do something with this guy. So later that year, we started the Steelhouse Festival for the first year, and that kicked off in August 2011. We put the Tom Hollister Trio back on then, and then the following year, it wasn't long really, within 12 months of that, the trio had split up, which was, you know, at the time, everybody was like, okay, that's really, really awful. Chris popped over to America. Alan wanted to keep him busy and keep him sort of focused on what to do next. So he went over and recorded an album. It was an album of covers, but they pulled some musicians together, put an album together, just to keep him focused, I guess. And he came back from that, and we did a couple of fun jams together in the Steelhouse Club nights. And one of the jams was to actually support, you know, Ollie Brown, the
yes,
blues artist. So we got some musicians together, and put a band together specifically for that gig. So because we wanted to support Ollie Brown, we had some. I had some old original material, and we put a couple of covers together. And hey ho, we had a half an hour set to support Ollie Brown.
Was Lyndon doing the sound on one of those?
Lyndon was actually playing on that, I think. Lyndon played on that. But he did actually do the sound on quite a few Steelhouse nights. Right,
because I remember him saying one day, he said, I've seen this guy, he's just absolutely brilliant. And he was just.
Yeah.
I mean, Lyndon is some guitarist, and then, but
Yeah,
he was blown away by Chris, and he said he did a Stones cover, "Miss You," I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, version of that on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a ridiculous amount of hits now. It's absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
impressive.
It is amazing. Yeah, I mean, anybody who hears Chris live, they know that there's something really unique and special there. So there was, obviously a buzz around that. And for me, I was viewing those jam sessions as, me being actually being in heaven on stage with Chris Buck, because one day, in years to come, I can actually say, do you know what? One day, years ago, I started just on in Evervale, and it's like that would be amazing just to do that. So we got something out of it in terms of we had a support band for Ollie Brown, but sneakily it was just a dream come true for me as well, because I was a huge fan. Chris had a call from Sandy Tom, And Sandy Tom, obviously, people go, Sandy Tom, and go, wish I was a, what's the word? Punk rocker with flowers in.
That's it. Yeah. No, I've seen her. She's great. She can sing.
Oh,
gosh.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So, but as soon as you sing that, and when you get the words right and people know what you're actually singing, they know, oh yes, Sandy Tom, of course. She got in touch with him and wanted him to support her in London. But it had assumed at the time, I think, that he probably sang, which, you know, he didn't. So he picked up the phone to me and said, I've got this gig in London. Do you want to come jam on this with me? I was like, what? We've just done a fun gig in a Vale, and now you're asking me to do this. So that's where it kicked off. That's where Back in Evans was born. We did a gig in London, in Madame Jojo's, which it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And it was that footage that Alan saw and looked at it and thought, okay, let's try and do something with this. And again, at the time, I was still a little bit, oh, are you really sure? You know, Chris is on the way up like that. And I don't know, it just felt really odd to have this conversation. And Alan was sort of saying, look, I'm not looking to put you in the charts as number one. I'm looking to make some really good music. And I think your voice and his guitar works really, really well together. Let's see what happens. And that was literally how it started. So we soon had Bob and Dom on board with us as well. They'd actually started rehearsing with us for the Sandy Tom gig, but it was such a small venue and Sandy Tom was there doing an acoustic set, so we couldn't take the band. But they were already on the scene, so it was a natural next step then to put the band together. Alan wanted to call it Back in Evans, and whether that's a great name or not, we're not going to discuss that. But that's what it's called, and here we are, you know, a few years later, and that's how it all kicked off.
Fantastic, that's great. And your first album's out there, isn't it? How's that gone?
It is. It has been released, and thankfully it is out there now. That was something that we held off on for such a long time because we had enough quality songs. But once we got to the point where we did, we thought, okay, look, we really do have to record this. So we did. We also ran a pledge music campaign around it to release it. So that's what we did, and then obviously the pledge story is history now, and we, as did many other bands, and I know other bands probably lost a lot more than we did, but we did lose money to actually be able to launch that.
Okay.
So we took it upon ourselves to launch that ourselves, and we made sure that everybody who pledged something had what they bought from us, basically. Yeah. But what it did do, it sort of staggered the release and the impact of the release of the album, because we sort of did a bit of a pledgy thing where we had to get the album out to the people who bought it. So that ticked a box, but then we still had this album we had to look to get out there and look for a distribution deal and all sorts. So that gave it another 12-month delay, and in that time we were selling that album at live gigs. So it was, if you can stumble your way through an album launch and, you know, spread that launch out over 18 months to water the impact down, we probably did that. Yeah,
and then have a tour cancelled with coronavirus, and
absolutely. But
you do. Okay, so who's the boss in the band then, Sally?
Oh, no.
Come on, give us the dirt.
Well, you see, it's a strange one because I think in terms of, I think we all take different roles. That's the issue. So I think when it comes to the online work, you know, that we looked at the graphics and the, you know, how it's marketed and all that sort of stuff. I chip away at it, but it is really Chris who does a lot of that stuff, and he's really good at it.
Well,
So
he's everywhere, isn't he?
oh, he's fantastic, you know, and yeah, he's very talented. He's talented all round, you know. He's. I was going to say something then, but I thought it might be a little bit of a swear word. So he's a talented person, you know. But he's got the whole lot going with. He's a really, really good graphic designer, believe it or not.
Is he? I didn't realise that's where it was his background. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just his dad was a graphic designer, and
Okay.
he's got a natural thing for sort of art and design and things like that, and he's got a good eye for it. So the artwork historically for the band has been sort of talked about, or we've come together to work on that, both myself and him. But recently, over the last year or two, he's taken this idea of taking iconic, whether it's landscapes or buildings or something related to the city that we're playing in at the time, and turning it into a Buck and Evans poster.
Right.
And it's a piece of artwork in itself. It's great. So that's brilliant. That was his idea, and things like that. You know, he's very, very switched on with that. He's a natural writer. You know, he's very, very good. He's very articulate as well.
Who's the wordsmith in the band then? Is that your bit?
Unfortunately, the lyrics and the melodies have all fallen to me. But I think, lyric-wise, the four of us have never really talked about sitting down and looking at that. I would say probably 80% of the lyrics on the album are me. Okay. Then you'll have some of the songs that are, you know, we've had some stuff thrown in. So Bob comes up with some really good stuff as well. And the melodies tend to fall with me because I guess it's because I find it easier to walk away with some chord structures and then do that in my own time. I don't think I work well working on melodies in a group situation.
Gotcha.
It's more naturally to me when I'll take the dog for a walk, have the guitar or the band jamming session in my headphones, and then that's where the melody comes from.
Do you play stuff in your head as well, without the headphones, I mean?
Yes.
I do it all the time. I can't get away. I'm like it's haunted, something going on. There's something playing all the time. It's really annoying.
And then you've got to get back thinking, oh, that's a really good chorus.
Yeah. Or I've forgotten what, that was really good, but I've forgotten what it was. It's just...
Yeah, that's all like it. But wordsmith, in terms of songwriting, that's tenfold to me. Wordsmith as a talent and actually writing anything, marketing-wise for the band, I'm, you know, certainly not me. It's definitely down to Chris. So I think in terms of decision making for the band, it tended to fall to me and Chris at times. But then I think more and more as you're in a band, everything becomes more collaborative. You know.
Yeah, of course.
And, the jamming and the songwriting became more and more collaborative as that went on as well. So all the arrangements in the band, you know, full on four of us, and then you've got a mixture of songs with different elements from different people.
Now your drummer played with AC/DC, didn't he?
Certainly did.
How did you get that gig?
Well, it was at the time when there was a big issue, wasn't there, with the drummer being we won't go into that, but
problems.
Yes, so there were problems there, and they were looking for a drummer to appear on their latest singles. They were releasing 2 new singles, and they needed a drummer, obviously, because they were making videos for those singles. So now I can't remember the link. I think something like a guitar tech or drum tech or something like that knew of Bob, and they got in touch with him, and I think if Bob had the most important thing in the world planned for that weekend, it was always going to be cancelled because he had to go and play for AC/DC. Who wouldn't?
What better excuse do you need? Well, that's got to be one of the hardest gigs to do, though. Hardest working gigs to do. Well, I mean, they're a bit full on, aren't they?
Yes, but it's only been really, really positive. I mean, it was only the videos, you know, that he played for. So it was all studio, it was all green screen stuff. And then they played for an exclusive audience then, after they'd done some of that as well, to actually put in the video as well.
He's a premier drums player, isn't he, your guy?
He is.
Yeah. My first kit, well, actually my second kit, as a young man, teenager, I just loved the Premiere catalogue. I used to stare at it for hours. But
Bob, I don't know how many kits Bob's got, but yeah, he's very often sending us photos saying, you know, he'll show us the kit setup. So, shall I take the red one or the blue one or the white one or whatever? I always go back with the same response: the quietest one, Bob.
Harsh, that is, Sally.
I know, but he's a loud drummer. He is a very loud drummer, but he's phenomenal as well. You know,
yeah, and the rest. Yeah.
Well, he's amazing because he's got such a fantastic ear for music as well. So.
Looking out across the bay, devil's coming out to play. Sun is rising in the east. Watch the skies, beware the beast. Mist is crawling on the bay, not your soul to take away. Eyes of fire, glowing heat. You disappear from the street. I can see you walking in the rain. I can feel the sun rising and out my head again. I can see you walking in the rain. I can feel the sunrise, oh, sunrise. Day and night we long to sleep, deny the company we keep. Exit stage to watch my play, dress rehearsing Judgment Day. Breaking free, sunless mind. Inclusion is so hard to find. No way to avoid attack. Feel the monsters coming back. I can see you walking in the rain. I can feel the sun rising and out my head again. I can see you walking in the rain. I can feel the sunrise, oh, sunrise.
Excellent. Okay, so you've got something in the wings for November, you said, I think.
Yes.
Obviously, you can't tell us what that is at the moment. Is there anything else on the horizon that we need to know about? Another album or whatever?
We'll hopefully be getting back in, as I said earlier, really, if we can get back into some jamming sessions. I know, between us all, I'm sure we've got loads of material that will be thrown about. And once we start jamming again, those will actually be finished quite quickly, some of those songs. So I think an album, I don't know. I don't know how far off we are on that. Getting some new material together, I would think that we're talking over the next couple of months that we'll get a good handful of songs. Then, but you need to test drive them, don't you? You need to really get them out there and perform them in front of people to get that feedback. So
nothing quite like it, is there?
No. So it's going to be a very strange one because realistically, I don't know if they'll get a good hearing as they should until next year. So we'll see.
Next couple of months. Trust your judgment, Sally.
Yes.
Have you taken a song to the band and they've gone, no, I don't like that? And you've gone, oh shit.
Not really, but I think what tends to happen with us is if we know something's working, we'll stick with it. But I think when something drops and you don't go back to it, that's probably a natural, organic way of it sort of.
Yeah. I've got lots of songs like that. I need you to give me some piano lessons. I got a keyboard here, I'm in the studio sort of thing. And I've sort of self-taught myself really badly. So I could do with some good tips from yourself. So a question for you is, are there any positives that have come out of the lockdown for you? I know it's been a rubbish time for a lot of people and we've lost a lot of people, but I think there are some positives along the way. Do you have any?
Yeah, I think on a personal level, I'm sure lots of people are saying the same sort of thing, that one thing it does give you is time, and time makes you reflect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you reflect on lifestyle and choices around your work and your family and things like that, and that's definitely been a positive because I've made some decisions on things in that way, so yeah, I think from that point of view, great. My garden's looking better.
Can you come round here, please? Mine's not.
Well, it looks great because you didn't see what it was like before. So better than it was before doesn't necessarily mean that it's working out now.
So, thoughts on the future of the music industry? That's a wide question, I know, but it's a good time to ask.
Yeah, that's right. I think what we've got planned at the end of November, it's certainly going to test run, I think, test drive a new blended approach to gigs.
Okay.
Potential sort of streamed gig with in a phenomenal venue, with or without some live audience. We don't know, but certainly a pay per view approach to that.
Okay.
But then potentially taking that out into some workshops and it's almost like this creative retreat type approach to working with people who want to learn guitar, want some vocal sessions. I think it's going to be, whether you want to call it hybrid or blended approach or whatever, I think it's going to have to be a mixture of all those things going forward so that we can survive.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think the streaming thing is with us now, whether we like it or not, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's an element of this big project we're doing at the end of November. So we'll see where that takes us and how successful it is. I guess at the moment, a lot of musicians I'm talking to, probably doing it in the same way, there's nothing like a live gig. We all know that. But if something happens and you plan something, if you can fall back on the live streaming and people are still happy to pay for that gig, at least it's not blowing everything out of the water again. You know, I think get to that point. At least the future doesn't look as grey as it did.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. I guess time will tell. We just don't know, do we?
No.
Good. Okay. All right, Sally, it's been super talking to you. Thank you ever so much for agreeing to do it.
Very much. Thank you. I will start working on my videos for you.
That'd be great. Love to see those. Okay, put me down for the piano lessons and let me know what exciting things are coming up for November. And, you know, obviously, if I can, I'd love to feature them. And, yeah, brilliant. I'll tell Lyndon that we've spoken today. I'm seeing him tomorrow for the first time in about 6 months.
Are you? Oh, excellent. Yes, hello to me, from me.
So we're just trying to get back to doing stuff, really. We're going to record some stuff and video some stuff, and just generally drink tea and eat pizza for a while. Yeah. So
sounds amazing.
That's cool.
Well, good for that. I hope it goes really well, and I will be back to you as soon as I can and speak to you soon.
I shall look forward to that. Thank you, Sally, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you, Sally Ann Evans and Buck and Evans. And you'll be hearing a lot more from them in the future. Now, I had a visitor last week. Lyndon popped in. I hadn't seen him for 6 months, and we had a bit of a recording session. And originally, we were booked for the Wootton Blues Festival on Saturday the 19th of September, but of course that's now been cancelled. So they're holding a virtual festival on YouTube. So we've recorded an exclusive acoustic session for them, and that will be aired 7 or 8 o'clock on Saturday the 19th of September. But I'll try and give you some more details nearer the date, but there are other acts on. It's all going to be fabulous. So I'll try and get some more information from that. I'm pleased to say there were a few extras that we recorded in the session. So here's one from Peanuts and Monkeys. This is That's What Tomorrow Is For. 2, 3, 4. Close the door, turn out the light. Won't you here with me tonight? I don't wanna hurt, I don't wanna cry no more. That's what tomorrow is for. Let's have a drink, let's hit the bar, we'll have a real good time. We'll go too far, but I don't wanna hurt, I don't wanna cry no more. That's what tomorrow is for. Don't let those feelings bring you down. gold turns to winter's cold. And the love we had has been bought and sold. But I don't wanna hurt, I don't wanna cry no more. That's what tomorrow is for. I don't wanna hurt, I don't wanna cry no more. That's what tomorrow is for. So that's about us for this week. Thanks for watching. A couple of things to end with. It looks, I've seen on Facebook, seems to be a lot of talk about up and coming problems about them streaming music, or us streaming music on Facebook. There's a lot of chatter about it. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, heard it, or got any opinions on it, but that could make life very difficult for us in the future if that is the case. So if anybody's got any more information on it, please let me know, because I'd like to see it. Okay, and on the last episode I asked you for any positives about coming through lockdown, amongst all the doom and gloom as we now face the second wave, it seems. And I have had a few responses, I'm pleased to say. Somebody is watching this. Phil, thank you for your email. Phil had a beautiful retriever dog called Phoebe, and unfortunately he's just lost her. She just died, but he's very grateful for the time that he's had with her over the lockdown period. So bless you, Phil. I've had lots of comments about life priorities. Interestingly, a lot of people talk about travel to work, travel to holidays, or not. Nobody seems to want to get on a plane, apart from the people who won't socially distance, and then whinge about their coming back from early from holidays and into lockdown. My heart bleeds. Personally, learning new stuff has been quite interesting. Streaming stuff as well, video editing, and more time with the family, more time with the kids. Actually getting to quite like the kids. We might keep them. On that note, stay well, stay safe. See you again soon. Bye now.